I am very, very blessed to have my friend come here on this show once again. Give it up for the viral sensation, Ken Bone, everybody.
St. Louis, St. Louis, St. Louis, St. Louis.
Make some noise. Yes.
Well, Pascal, I got all Hollywood over there. I was like, hey, Carla got a country road. I'm not gonna get a country road. You gotta make one for me. And then
we're gonna make sure you get, happily lubricated.
Then they said, get the hell out, country.
Well, cheers, man.
Country boy.
Cheers. Have a seat, brother.
You're from the internet. You don't get free drinks. I had to pay for it.
Yeah, you had to pay for that?
No.
Lies. Don't lie to me now.
I haven't had to pay for anything for months.
Okay, good. Well, lucky you. Yeah, so I know that you've been busy. You kind of been like a political rock star and everything.
Yeah.
Going out there on social media, Twitter. I see your followers. They just, like over 300,000 or something like that?
I got 205,000 right
205,
now.
sorry.
I used to have 256, but 51,000 people came to their senses. So
They're just like, why do I even follow this guy?
Yeah,
right?
What is going on? I mean, he wears red. He's obviously a Republican or something. And
oh, right.
Like which is not true. I'm sporting the blue tie today for a little
right, but
little
it's smaller than the red.
Well, that's
you got a lot of red going on.
Well, my neck is smaller than the rest of me. I appreciate you pointing that out. But
no, I didn't mean it like that. But I do want to know, like, who did you vote for?
I never have told anybody who I voted for.
You got to just say it, man.
Well,
who cares now?
For better or for worse, there are actually people out there, especially young people, that listen to my opinion because I'm on the internet. And I don't feel that's fair to the democratic process for some goofy guy who got picked at random, who wears like a cartoon character costume, to be able to tell these kids what to think.
Right.
And so I would rather take my time and educate them about what's going on. On my Twitter handle at KenBone18, I try to do a Periscope chat about once a week.
Right.
And just talk about current events and inform these kids that you have rights and you can get out and be politically active. And you don't have to wait until you're in your 30s like my generation did. You can get out and affect change right now. And get them out there and let them think for themselves, because they have a lot more ideas and a lot more to say than I do myself. So I'm glad to have played a little part in getting them out there. And I don't want to try to taint them by telling them what to think, because they have their own ideas.
Right. So so tell me, what did you think of the whole Comey hearing that just happened today?
It was a little frustrating because, like, a lot of the senators, they know. This is the Senate Intelligence Committee. They know which questions Comey can answer and which ones he can't.
True.
Based on it's public information and so much of it is classified. But they ask anyway, just so they get their sound bites and their clips. And that wastes a lot of the people's time. So that was a little frustrating. But there was some good substance there. Director Comey seems like he was a great public servant. I wish him all the best in the future, and I hope we have a lot more like him, because he didn't seem interested at all in playing politics. Yeah. He seemed like he wanted to dig down to what was best for the American people. Right,
of course, and that's always a good thing. But I mean, what actually, did you watch it? Did you watch
I was listening to
2.5 hour thing? I mean, it just seemed like there was, I don't know, me, it just felt like it was like watching paint dry, but I mean,
I listened to it live on the radio while I was out today. I was taking my.
It was on the radio too.
Oh, it was everywhere.
Wow. Yeah, they really wanted to get him.
I had my boy out today. We were going to the hardware store. We're replacing the flooring in his room because he's a disgusting 13-year-old boy, and he's basically destroyed his room. And so I'm glad I'm here now instead of working on my floor. Yeah, because that was not going well.
Nothing wrong with being in TV land for a second.
Right? Yeah, so I was listening to it on the radio while we were out all day. He was asleep in the backseat because he couldn't take it anymore.
I don't blame him. It's not fun. Okay, well, so I've always wanted to ask you, I never got a chance to ask you this other time, but when it came to the presidential debates and everything, why did you ask that question? I mean, it's just a very precise and very articulate question.
Well, yeah, for the folks that aren't familiar, I asked about energy policy and how do we balance protecting our environment with meeting the needs of our energy grid. We consume a lot of energy in America, more per capita than any other country in the world.
Right.
So how do we meet those needs while at the same time protecting our environment and not laying off people like me who work in the energy sector and fossil fuels? Renewable energy is the wave of the future, and fossil power is being slowly phased out. But as we phase those coal plants out, there are communities out in the country, not far from here, places like Sparta, Marissa. The whole communities are built around these power plants, and there's nowhere else for people to work because everyone either works for the plant or for a place that supplies the plant or services the plant.
Right.
And if that plant goes away, they have nowhere to work. So what do we do for those people to prevent all of these little rural communities from turning into the next Detroit? When the auto industry pulled out, St. Louis and Detroit were hit very hard. And we're just now recovering from that here in St. Louis.
Right.
And I'm proud to see downtown coming back the way it is. But we were hit very hard by that. I don't want to see that happen to smaller communities. So I wanted to know, what is the plan for transitioning them into renewable energy?
Right.
And neither of the candidates really wanted to talk about that at the debate. They mostly wanted to call each other dumb. And
Well, yeah, it's pretty much what it is.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was.
that was a whole.
It was like
complete
listening to
different
mom
kinda-
and dad fight over
Pretty
Thanksgiving
much.
dinner. It was very uncomfortable.
Pretty much. So, still, what is the reason why you've never told anybody who you voted for?
I just
Like,
feel
what's
like,
the real reason?
well, I didn't tell anyone before the election because,
Right.
like I said before, I didn't think it was fair. There are people that are going to listen to what I say just because they saw me on television or saw me on the internet. And that's not fair to the democratic process. I trust people more than that to be smarter than that. And then after the election, if I say who I voted for now, that's just me in a cheap attempt to get famous again. And I'm just now transitioning back into being a regular guy. Like, I'm happy to be here with you and with The Fix and with all these
Okay.
other really talented folks. But if I say who I voted for, then I'm going to be on TMZ for a couple days, and it's just going to be a cheap thing of me trying to put myself out there. And that's not me. I just want to go back to being a regular dude.
Let's just be real, though. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not every day that a regular guy gets to be in front of in the limelight that often. So you're telling me that you're not enjoying the
Oh, I enjoy it a lot. I
the
love
limelight, the political groupies maybe that you have and stuff like that. I mean, let's be real. I mean, you must be having some kind of fun.
Oh, yeah, I went to CPAC in Washington, the Conservative Political Action Conference. Later this summer, I'll be going to Netroots Nation so I can talk to the left side of the aisle.
Right.
And I love seeing young people get engaged in politics. I love doing television and radio, all those things.
Right.
It's my dream to be like a radio DJ or something. That's always been my dream job.
Okay, so you're telling me that, you're saying that you're telling me that you don't want to tell anybody because you don't want to get back out there in the limelight again, but yet at the same time you'd like to be in the limelight. So that's why I'm asking why. I mean, who cares if what you say? I mean, just say it and then be out there and enjoy your life.
If I get to make a long-term thing in the limelight, to continue to be in the media, I want it to be because I earned it, like you did, like these folks did, because you're talented, because you're good at it. I don't want to be the gimmick guy anymore. So if I want to be able to do, my dream anymore, I want it to be because I'm good at it and I worked for it. I don't want to skip over the guys who have done their part.
That makes sense. Okay. So when is your Periscope, your live feed show?
This week would be Sunday night. It's about 7:30 Central.
So it's not
Yeah,
consistent.
it's different every
day.
week because, life. I work shift at a power plant, and I got a 13-year-old boy, and I got a wife, and, it shifts. So, that's bad for viewership and ratings, but I do it when I can.
Wait, one last question. Is your son, is he now getting warmed up to it? Because the last time I talked to you, he wasn't really warming up to it too much.
Well, typically, if we're in the grocery store and, he's 13, and, a 13, 14-year-old girl will walk by, I'm like, hey, I can give her my autograph for you. I'll be your wingman. I'll be your boy. And he's like, shut up, Dad, I hate you.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you're 13, right? He doesn't know how to capitalize on it yet.
You can be the guy on Twitter.
You need to capitalize on it, son. Capitalize on it.
It's just an object lesson.
I'm lying. It's a joke.
It does not
Don't
matter
do that.
what you do. You could be like the popular guy on Twitter. Or you could be the social media guy. Your 13-year-old kid still doesn't think you're cool. Chris Pratt's kids don't think he's cool. My kid doesn't think I'm cool. Nobody's kids thinks they're cool, no matter who they are.
Yeah, it's that awkward stage, right? Things are growing in weird places and stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's too confusing for everyone.
I mean, with doing the remodel, he's been in the guest room, and we had to take the door off for for laying the floor. And man, modesty is dead in this generation, I guess. It's terrifying.
Right. Hey, everyone, give it up for Ken Bone, everybody.